We just got back from a 3-week trip in Japan. And when we were planning this trip, it was overwhelming. Just the sheer number of things you can do, or the sheer number of things people tell you have to do.
As soon as you Google it one time, everything is going to scream at you all these must-see things that you cannot miss, and you will immediately become overwhelmed. You'll immediately start feeling FOMO. And you just can't. You have to realize you're only going to do the things you can do. We like kind of measured out the most popular things, the things that everyone said, these are must do, you cannot miss it, and our actual thoughts on those things.
Whether or not we think they're worth booking.
Yes. The first thing we did was enter Tokyo Tower. Now, of course, in Japan, you have to do a tower. This seems like something that's on the top of everyone's list.
So when we got off the train, you could see it from right when you got out of the station.
Like we were walking up and it was just like looming over us. And even over the buildings around it, you're like, which way do we go? There it is. And
walk toward it.
Yeah. So we just started walking toward it. And then
as you climb up the hill, I leaned over to Mariah that was with us, and she's afraid of heights. And she was like, I'm just trying not to think about it. I'm just trying not to think about it. I was like, this is so cool, though. Look at it.
We walked up in. We wandered around quite a bit because we kind of got lost. We ended up almost going up the stair entrance, which is not what we had tickets for.
You enter on the second floor, and you have to go down a floor to get on the elevator to go up. We ended up getting on the elevator and going up to the mezzanine. So the mezzanine is your the main big area.
Yeah, it's the most popular area to go to. It has a lot of space. There's a beautiful sakura tree that we got a picture in front of. It was busy. Don't get me wrong. Everything's busy in Japan. But,
especially during sakura season.
Yeah, but it was not bad for us. We got up there. We got to the mezzanine. We got our photos and videos. It was very busy. That was a bit of a challenge. But we got them. And it was a stunning view of Tokyo.
It is really expansive. Like, it's a big area, like the mezzanine all the way around. And it's cool to
you know, a gift shop.
Yeah. Like, you can walk around the entire way and see all the different angles of Tokyo. I thought that was really cool.
And then we headed to the top. And this was a bit of a Santi jaunter, if you will, because we had to go up an elevator to another queue that is really cute. This area was really fun. They gave you juice and they took your photo overlooking Tokyo. And at this point, our friend Mariah chickened out because poor thing was about to have a panic attack. So I was trying to challenge her to keep going, but Paul was like, no.
We are really close to a panic attack. Let her go.
So we let her go. And I'm glad we did, because this is the most thrilling part of the entire thing. And one of my favorite moments, getting on the glass elevator that takes you all the way to the top.
It was really exciting because halfway up it has a little shake. They do warn you that there's going to be a little shake, but it has to shift rails, I guess, or something.
Or scoot over. I don't even know. Because it's going up like this.
Yeah. But either way, it has a little shake in there, which is always a little bit of a thrill for me. And I just was like giddy with how excited I was about this glass elevator.
Everyone on the elevator was fine except one guy, and he was a little bit scared, but honestly he held it together really well. And you're crammed in there pretty tight, which I guess if you're claustrophobic that's not a good idea, but for me, we were on the edge of it, like by the window, and having that many people in there kind of made me feel even more safe. I don't know why, I just did.
Yeah.
And so getting to the top was actually the funnest part for us.
Yeah, it was so great.
But then we walked out and it's a floor covered in mirrors, which as a dancer I felt right at home.
Yeah, I do. And I loved how geometric everything felt. Like, it was like angles and stuff, and it made the cityscape reflect off of everything really cool. And maybe if you have vertigo, that would be weird. But I loved it. I was like, that experience, getting to the top and seeing how far Tokyo stretches, just so far out. Like, it is such a massive city.
Yeah, you can barely see mountains on one end.
Yeah, but it's just city. Everywhere else you look, I was like, this puts New York to shame. One thing to note, we had to wait in a long line to get down. So if that was a problem, I think Mariah even said that was one reason she didn't want to go up, but she was like, I knew I was going to have to wait in line to come back down, and I wasn't ready for that.
We had a blast. It was a good time. I will say this, though, about a Tokyo Tower and towers in general. My favorite thing about a tower is what it does for the skyline. So when you're in the tower, it removes that tower from the skyline, which is a little bit disappointing. And the highlight of the whole time was actually going out to the park next door, but was just eating our lunch looking up at the tower, because the tower is what is iconic. The view is cool, and to see Tokyo is cool, but even from Tokyo Tower, you can barely see Skytree, and that is part of the skyline too. So it's a cool experience, but if you're really interested in seeing the tower, just go look at the tower. Save yourself some money, but definitely go to that little park next door.
Unless you really want to thrill, then get the money to go to the top and ride the glass elevator. I just want to ride that glass elevator over and over again. I love it.
Yeah, it was like an attraction in and of itself.
We then headed over to teamLab's Borderless. It's about a 10-minute walk down the street from Tokyo Tower, which is great proximity if you're doing both in one day.
And we planned ours so we could do both in one day.
Yes, let it be known. We walked on down to teamLab's Borderless. Borderless is it's the second Tokyo location for teamLabs. It's like an art exhibit. It kind of blends technology, science, and art together in an experience.
Like, there is no map. there's rooms that you can miss if you don't if you're not meticulous enough. And it's very much a maze. I mean, it is a mazed experience.
It's also highly interactive.
When we walked in, I'm not going to lie, we were a little disappointed because it felt like it was just a projector projecting onto a wall in a giant room. And it was beautiful, don't get me wrong, stunning, but it was a little bit like, is this all it's going to be? We did not do any research about this, so I was glad.
Yeah. We started wandering through the maze that is the experience and discovered this room where it was like raining. It wasn't raining, like it was just projection raining. And at first we were like, this is cool. Like there's this cool little slide that kids can play on. It was like a mountain kind of.
Yeah.
And the water was kind of rushing around it / on it. There was projections everywhere on every wall.
Like I even tried sitting on the little mountain and sliding down myself.
Yeah, it was fun.
It's a fun time.
And one thing that we noticed as we were in that room is that the water reacted around the people around us. So we were like looking at other people and the water would kind of pool around a person standing on the ground. And I was like, that's weird.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Immediately after we realized this, we started realizing that the art on the walls, the projections were interactive sometimes. It wasn't every time.
Not every time.
One guy in that room, there was like these birds flying through, like projected on the wall, and he like smacked one. He like jumped to hit one, and it burst into flowers. I was like, that's cool. So then I started hitting every bird I could see, and it didn't always work, but it was fun.
The highly interactive nature of the experience makes you want to stay there longer.
We had a blast though in the art room.
Yes.
There was a room that like looked like there was a ton of like art like drawn by children, and we were like, is this like done by okay, cool. And then we see that there's a line queuing, and we're like, wait, can we actually draw? So they have like these little forms for you to like pick out what animal you want to do, and then you have these charcoal crayons or something, and you draw your figure. So Paul and I did a little anime figurines, and Mariah did this amoeba type thing, and she made it like a rainbow, and hers ended up being the coolest.
I agree. Once they scan them in, they drop into the art room, and then they're there for quite a while, like probably 10 minutes.
Yeah,
it was really cool.
It was amazing.
One thing about this experience that I will mention that is really bizarre is that everybody's experience is slightly different because the art moves through the different rooms. Now, we witnessed this a little bit, but a lot of it's so slow moving that like when you go back to a room after you've left it, it has changed.
The camera really doesn't do this any justice. It feels like as you're watching that you have to be watching everywhere all at once so that you don't miss a magical little moment that only happens once in a lifetime. That's probably not true, but it's how it feels.
Whatever their formula is very hard to track, which is good because it's either on a long enough loop that you can't predict it, or like it's not something you can learn in just one afternoon. And they said it was like a 2-hour experience. We were there for like 6 hours, 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah, it was a long time.
And even then, at the last like 30 minutes, we were still discovering rooms that we hadn't seen.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite room?
There was a lot of rooms that I really liked, and the projection rooms were really cool. But one of my favorite rooms, which is also at teamLab's Planets, but it's these lights that hang down, and then they're like interact with like different
But the
elements.
thing that made this one unique was we got to actually pick the like light cues, and you could throw them up on the wall.
If you went into this corner, not where the observation room is, but in a different corner of that room, and it had a little computer there, and you could just like pick out a lighting cue, and it would like change the sound and the lights. It was super cool. There's also the room that they put a 3-minute timer on because we stayed for like 6 minutes and then got kicked out. I mean, not really. Like they were very nice about it, but it's where everyone wants to take selfies.
Yeah, it's like it's like a hanging orbed room that emits a lot of different kind of light, and the light is constantly changing, making it very unique for selfies and different photos. So it's very much the Instagram spot. That and both rooms, the hanging light room and the orb room, are very, very popular.
But I think my favorite thing that we did the entire time was the cafe. When we went to the cafe, we did have to wait in line for it, but once you get in, it's really dark. The table is like black, and then they serve you your little matcha latte and matcha ice cream, and all of a sudden it started animating on the table around it. And we were like, what? Then we'd pick up our latte, and it would kind of like move, and you'd take your drink, and then you put it back down, and the animation would start up again. But then when you
sometimes
finished,
it would change.
Yeah, it would change.
It was unique every time you put your like latte back down. It would be like flowers or roots or birds or butterflies.
But when we were done, it was like you'd put your bowl down, like, or whatever, you
Your
finish
empty bowl.
your ice cream, right? We'd finish our ice cream, and the minute we put our empty bowl back down, whatever the animation was would burst into butterflies, and they'd fly away.
I think they remove the animations as soon as you're done eating because it gets you out of there. Like, it's not fun once the animations stop. You're like, okay, I guess I gotta go. Guess I gotta go. Guess I gotta go.
I honestly did though take my time drinking my latte though because of that.
Yeah.
It's like once I saw my ice cream was done and my animation went away, I was like, no, I gotta keep my latte.
if I had to choose between teamLab's Borderless and teamLab's Planets, I still think I would choose Borderless over Planets because of its mapless system. Now, that stressed me out in the moment, and I really wanted to make sure I saw everything. But because of that, I was way more engaged in the floor plan and also figuring out what there was to offer. Whereas Planets is like a path, and it's like 6 rooms. Whereas this was like, I don't know. I didn't even count how many rooms there were.
I also think that for me, Planets is a one and done, whereas Borderless feels like I could go back over and over again and experience it in a new way.
I agree.
Whereas with Planets, I feel like it's the same thing every time. This experience blew our minds. Kind of like today's sponsor, Klook.
Ironically, we booked all these experiences with Klook before they even decided to partner with us. So this sponsorship is like the perfect little partnership for this video because
You're right.
we were already using it.
And also, we were using them because they have the best prices. Like their prices can't be beat. So
And they can all go in the same app. So it's just easier to find your booking.
that's true. There's 12 plus languages represented and 40 plus currencies. So when you book, you know you're booking in your currency. You're not having to worry about conversions and conversion rates. It honestly made traveling in Japan so easy. And honestly, it's just so easy to use and to find things on. A lot of our research was done like on the internet, YouTube, everywhere, but then also using Klook as a resource to look at what's available in the cities you're visiting is so huge.
When I rediscovered Klook when doing research for this trip, we kind of stopped using everything else and just used Klook because they really do have the most popular experiences that we needed to know about on their booking site. And we could search just through Japan and find everything either in Japan or more specifically in Tokyo. And that was very helpful for this video, but then also for our trip in its entirety.
I also booked several experiences from this list through the Klook Pass Greater Tokyo. It's like basically a collection where you can book all of the things in like one booking kind of, but all of those different things, and you get a better deal even than what they're offering regularly. Use the link below to sign up for Klook today.
And if you're going to book anything, make sure to use our affiliate link. It helps us out a lot. As you know, traveling is so expensive, so saving money anywhere you can on experiences or accommodation is so essential. So Klook, thank you for everything you guys are doing to make traveling more affordable and accessible to more people. Our next experience is the Harry Potter Studio Tour in Tokyo. Now this is very similar, some would say, to the one in London. I could not disagree more. It feels like a totally different experience. And we just went to the one in London. And the main
There are
reason,
some similarities,
but the main reason is interactivity.
Yeah, it is so interactive. So for us, we went in, and obviously the whole first area with the cafe is gorgeous, and we loved the chocolate frog booths so much. Got some food, and then started the tour. The first thing we noticed is the beginning is pretty similar, other than they do bring out the
voice actor for Harry,
for the Japanese.
and he's like your guide. It was so cute.
So cute. I actually love that so much. It did make it feel like a completely unique experience because your guide is completely different. You do have the American actors doing different bits here and there as well, but it was cool to have that guy as our guide.
That whole intro is very similar, even through like the Great Hall. But then as soon as you get through the Great Hall, you're like, oh shoot, this is different. And the main thing was the free interactive opportunities that you were able to actually take home with you. So one of the first things you do is you get to become a portrait on the wall, and there's moving staircases and everything, but there's 5 different like areas where you can take your photo, and then it's like a video, and it gives you prompts, and then it throws it up on the screen, and you have to go find it. Like you have to find what portrait you were put into. And that is so fun because then at the end you get to download it.
One thing for us that we loved the most was how we felt immersed in the story, as far as like we were a part of it, but also you got to see how it was made, but that didn't take away from the immersion, which I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
But that's how we felt the entire time.
Because like there's parts where, of course, like at the London one, you get to be a part of the crowd cheering, and they like green screen you into the movie, which is so fun. But then there's other things like you get to be a part of it. You get to experience flu powder, and they film you doing that, and you get to fight a Death Eater, which is so cool, and you get to go into the potions classroom, the set. You actually get to go into it and pretend to magically stir potion. That kind of stuff makes you feel so a part of the movies. Like almost like you're an actor in it.
I think we love these stories so much too, and desire to be a part of them.
Yeah, we love them.
Being immersed in this way was like so special for me because I just felt like I was an actor on set, but I also like, or actually not really an actor on set, like I was there in real life. And then you walk around the corner and you see the backside of a set, and you're like, oh yeah, this is a movie.
I know. Well, because the stories are so real in my brain that it is just like so, it makes it feel so alive.
Yeah.
You know, it's so real, it's tangible. There's something about that, and that's really beautiful. They do a really good job in Japan Japan about making you feel a part of it. And even the outside area is larger than the one in London.
The whole experience, one of my favorite parts, especially as a filmmaker, was looking at the audio tech at the very end. Like it's right before you end it, is they talk about Foley, which is like all the artificial sounds. They talk about like sound design as far as the voice actors and then audio retouching.
They basically build the audio.
Yeah,
they
and
show
then
you how it's built.
It was so fascinating to me, and it was done in such a well done way that I was just
To be honest, it's literally that itself is probably 30 minutes of like an experience that's like very, very close together. And a lot of people just walk right by it because you don't realize that it's like, oh, I have 10 minutes here and I have 5 minutes here and I have 5 minutes here. You know, there's little videos, and if you come in on the middle, you don't know where you're starting or stopping. You're just in the middle of it. Whereas we were able to wait and start at the Foley part.
And then at the very end, you see the castle. And I think that
we love the castle.
it just makes me emotional every time I walk in there.
The model.
Yes.
Oh, I love it. I want it to be real somewhere.
I want them to build it for real so I can go there and stay.
I would go there.
I'm down. Let's go. Do you think this is worth booking when you're in Japan?
Yes. Absolutely yes. If you like Harry Potter, yes. If not, don't do it. I don't know why you do it if you didn't like Harry Potter.
But even if you didn't like Harry Potter and you just like the art of filmmaking, I think it's a really fascinating
thing.
Keeping the themes of magic alive, we headed on over to Tokyo Disneyland Resort and Tokyo DisneySea.
Okay, here's the problem with covering Tokyo DisneySea in this video. It's so big and it is so cool that there's just too much to talk about. We do have a vlog coming out about our entire time there. We did a vacation package. So we did Disneyland and DisneySea. DisneySea is the one we're focusing on in this video because we do think that it is a must-see experience. And we did, but it's like well worth the hype that it gets online.
But I don't think we can get into it too much here, other than the fact that DisneySea just opened their new Fantasy Springs, which is the new land that's a part of their park, and it covers Peter Pan, Frozen, and Tangled. Beautiful area of the park.
Stunning.
Even if you didn't ride a single ride and you just walked around it, beautiful.
But the rides themselves have incredible, like top of the line, the best in the world animatronics. It blew our minds.
Also, if you do go to Tokyo DisneySea, when you first get into the park, buy a ticket to Big Band Beat. And I'm not kidding. It's a show inside the New York section of the park that covers 1920s and 1940s jazz and Mickey Mouse for real tap dances.
And it is so good.
So good. We love Tokyo DisneySea, but I do want to tell you right now, the Japanese are willing to wait in line. So if you don't have like fast passes or anything like a vacation package where you're getting some of those fast passes, you will be waiting in line for a long time. You could choose like a couple rides to ride that day and then just explore the park. You don't want to spend the entire time in the park in line. You won't enjoy your time. If you just explore the park, there is so much to look at and watch that I just highly recommend, if you're only going for one day, pick like 2 rides that you want to ride, wait in line for those rides, and then just explore the park, eat some food, eat some snacks. The snacks there, top of the line, so cute.
So cheap. It's
so
amazing.
Fun.
We love the New York area of this park. That's the 1920s New York, but also the volcano is iconic. It's Jules Verne themed. And then if you go over to Fantasy Springs, obviously it's very, very much fantasy.
There's rock work you don't want to miss back by the hotel. So just keep going back beyond Frozen and you'll
inside
see these
Fantasy
cool
Springs.
rocks.
Cape Cod is beautiful. There's a whole Indiana Jones section. It's a more outdoorsy.
The whole park is beautiful. Just walk around.
Stunning. Soarin', if you can do Soarin', it's an incredible queue. And then also, I think the ride itself is just very well done. It's similar to the one in Orlando, but it is, in my opinion, better. It's a smoother ride. It ends in Tokyo and then it flies over DisneySea, which just makes you scream and hoot and holler. It's so much fun. Every ride is good. It's so hard to say. This is such a hard one to like put into a bow, wrap up into it. Do this one. Go to this park if you can, but I would honestly give yourself more than one day. And if you only have one day, I might recommend like just the Disneyland side instead of trying to do Sea. But my thought is if you're there and you're in Tokyo, you gotta see Sea. You know?
I agree. I mean, it's just so unique because it's the only place in the world you can experience it.
I know. It's just so hard. It's such a good park. It is literally my favorite park in the world.
Saving the best for last, we head on over to...
Would you say this is better than Sea? It's hard to say.
No, I don't know. It's just
this is such a fun experience.
It's just such a fun experience, and you can wrap this one up in a bow. It's just 30 minutes to 2 hours.
You can do it. You can squeeze it into any day.
Yeah.
It is go-karting, or some people would call this Mario Karting around Shibuya.
But for copyright reasons, not Mario Kart. It's go-karting.
No, just go-karting around Shibuya. But you dress up in a onesie, usually not Mario Kart characters because Nintendo's pretty strict about that stuff. But you can be Pokemon, and that's what we did.
And I was Chopper from One Piece. So I could not recommend this experience more. To our local friends, the friends that live in Tokyo, we were like, have you ever done this? And they're like, no. I was like, do it.
It's
literally
so fun.
So fun.
Driving through Shibuya, first of all, is a thrill because you're driving on the wrong side of the road, wrong side for us in America. But That's a thrill. But then also you're on a tiny go-kart and you're surrounded by massive vehicles, and everyone drives very safely there, so you're totally safe. One thing to note about this, you do have to get a international permit, which is not hard. Just go to a AAA and you apply for it. And as long as you have a U.S. driver's license, it's easy to get. But you do have to have one of those. And then also, it is like you can do a 30 to 2 hour, I think, experience.
I think the place we booked through, it was the one I booked was a 30-minute experience, but there is longer experiences available.
And I think 30 minutes is just fine.
Yeah.
Like you will have the time of your lives.
What was your favorite thing about it?
I think it was when we actually were going through Shibuya Crossing, and you're like, I've been here before, but this looks totally different because you have no roof. You're not just walking across the street. You're driving the streets. You're seeing it from a different angle, I guess. And that's a thrill. But then also the people. The Japanese are just really fun, and they like to wave at you. Some people do, not all of them, but they like to wave, and you kind of feel like a celebrity. Like I'm literally dressed as Pikachu, which iconic. But honestly, it was fun. You kind of felt a little cringe at sometimes, but then also people were so excited about it that it was fun. People were filming you from the side because it is cool to see like these go-karts going through Shibuya.
Our guide was one of my faverites. She was so good, and she took pictures of us. Like we'd stop at a stoplight, she'd run around and take pictures of us on our go-karts. So even if you don't have a camera like what we had, I had a whole filming setup. But even if you didn't have that, you do have photos taken of you so you can like remember the experience without having to take them yourself.
We could not recommend this experience more.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
So much fun.
We just felt like we were in a cavalcade the whole time. Like people were waving at us. I was like, I wish I had candy to throw. I could have thrown some candy.
I felt like a celebrity.
Yeah, you really did. Yeah.
I gotta say, that was honestly, I smiled so big during that experience that my face hurt. Like it was so much fun. All in all, we loved all of these experiences. I definitely think the one skip is Tokyo Tower. I think if you're going to Borderless, walk by it. Like map to it so you can go by that little park and then go up. Unless you really want to go up in it. I mean,
the elevator was iconic.
That was fun. But I don't think it was like worth the time it took us to experience.
Everything else was definitely though a must see, and it's worth the hype. Specifically, I think that the highest recommended thing that I can tell you to do is the Mario Karting because it's a short experience. It's short, it's not super expensive, and it's an easy thing to do in a day, even if you're doing something else at the same
Whereas
day.
the other ones are substantial experiences.
Yeah.
So be aware that those are going to take more time, especially like Borderless, Harry Potter, and Disney are substantial time sucks.
We also would give honorable mentions, but I want to save them for actual surprises in the video. We did a lot more on this trip that we didn't even talk about in this video, and there's even more from these topics that we're going to talk about in other vlogs. So if you're interested in learning more about these topics and even other things that we did while we were in Japan, make sure to hit that subscribe button for the vlog series to come.
Thank you so much, Klook, for sponsoring this video. We loved using your app, and we also loved booking more things once we got there based on the recommendations from our friends.
Yes. Use the link down below to sign up for Klook, and if you do end up booking something on your trip to Japan, make sure to use our affiliate link. It helps us out a lot.
That's all we have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in another video real soon.
Don't I?
Okay, bye. A special thank you to Peter, Joseph, Tim, and Zoe, and the rest of the patrons over on Patreon for making this video possible. We couldn't do it without you. If you want to join our Patreon, go over to patreon.com/twinsauce or check the link below.